on Booth Road in Clearwater.
And
Online
then,
at
we can mention about the
fortified.com.
GLP-1
And listen to
receptor
Ask the
drug
Doctor
issues.
Saturday
You've
morning
asked
at
about
9 on
macular
AM
degeneration.
930.
The
The
longer
Answer.
you're on it and the older you are. Wow, here we go. We got time-wise on here. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Here we are live. You can hold it. Getting ready to go live. Dr. Susan Summerton.
Ask the Doctor with Michael Lange begins in 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
When it comes to your health, are you seeing the check engine light come on more than normal? It's time to get under the hood. It's time for Ask the Doctor with Dr. Michael Lange. Sponsored by Lange Eye Institute and Fortify Vitamins. Dr. Lange is a board-certified optometric physician and certified nutrition specialist, helping people see and feel better through proper nutrition for 25 years. The doctor is in. Call now with your questions at 813-282-8283. That's 813-282-8283. Here's your host, Dr. Michael Lange.
All righty. Good morning and welcome to Ask the Doctor. I'm your host as usual, Dr. Michael Lange of the Lange Eye Institute and Fortify Vitamins, here with my co-host, Dr. Susan Summerton. Say hello.
Good morning. You're going to tell us we're in a completely different place today. We're excited to tell you about it.
We are. We're actually broadcasting live from the FOA. That's the Florida Optometric Association here in Orlando. And we're at the Fortify Vitamin booth. And I'm kneeling over if you're watching me on Instagram. So I'm looking kind of like a little midget. But anyway, we're still going to be able to get some live calls. We're working this out through Salem Media in Tampa Bay. And so we can take some live calls. And as you know, if you're new to the program, who is Dr. Lange? Who's Dr. Summerton? And what's Ask the Doctor? We're a live syndicated talk show for over 30 years. We're the longest running medical talk live radio show in the country. We started in April of 1993 and been going strong ever since. I'm the founder of Fortify Vitamins and the Lange Eye Institute. And we hail from the Village, Florida. That's where the Lange Eye Institute is. And Fortify Vitamins headquarters in Ocala and distribution center in Clearwater. Anyway, this is a live call-in show dedicated to you, the listener, the consumer, the viewer. And we are broadcasting, globally via the internet, and we're coast to coast via the Ask the Doctor radio network. So if you got a question, give us a call. And the phone number is 86. No, it isn't that. The phone number for Fortify Vitamins is 866-503-9746. Fortify Vitamins is 866-503-9746. But Ask the Doctor, if you want to call in for a live question, is 813-282-8283. That's 813-282-8283. Anyway, I'm going to brag about Dr. Summerton for a minute here. She's a trustee on the board of the Florida Optometric Association. She's also a certified nutritional specialist, a certified optometric physician. She's a diplomat and a fellow in the nutritional arena. And she did one of the best lectures. What is it, yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
Thursday.
All on nutrition. No, the day before yesterday. And we are proud to have her as the co-host of Ask the Doctor. So when it comes to all things nutrition, eye-related, and total body, we're the experts on the radio to answer those questions. So give us a call, 813-282-8283. Also, I want to welcome Tasha. So you won't be able to see her on Restream, but you'll be able to see her right now on Instagram. There's Tasha.
Hello, how are you?
And Tasha is the face at Fortify Vitamins. She's a Fortify girl, and she's been running the booth here. And I'm going to show you a picture of this. So there we go. It looks like she might have won first place.
I can scan her in here.
Can you?
It's the 90s theme. And so the
There's
90s theme,
Natasha.
the 90s theme, looks like she may have qualified for first, second, or third place. We won't know until later on today. But congratulations, Tasha, for making the booth look really good and helping meet with doctors and talk to doctors from all over the country regarding nutrition and eye care. All right, let's see what we got here. Anyway, you got something to say?
No, just good morning. It is nice. We're here in the actual exhibit hall. This is where we look at all the vendors. There's over 100 vendors, and it shows us what's new in eye care, if there's any new equipment, new inventions, things that help us bring better care to you. And it's just a great time. We also have continuing ed classes. That's the classes I was teaching of nutrition, a couple of them, but we're learning all aspects. And we just love it. And we're getting to share that with you today. And we're happy we're able to bring the show from this location. We weren't quite sure if we can do it. So give us a call. We're happy to help.
Right. We want to know, and we want to make sure that we are coming in live. So give us a call at 813-282-8283. That is 813-282-8283. And really, the topics at this conference have had a heavy emphasis on macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, dry eye, the latest advancements in the treatment and management of these diseases of the eye. And so, like Dr. Summerton said, we stay up abreast of the changes via continuing education and ongoing research that we're involved in. Also, for nutrition. So we sponsor a lot of big nutritional conferences as well. And if you come to see any of the doctors at the Lange Eye Institute, especially Dr. Summerton or myself, you're going to get a good dose of nutritional wellness included in your eye exam. If you'd like to see us at the Lange Eye Institute, remember it's in the Villages, Florida. The Lange Eye Institute is in the Villages, Florida. And the phone number for the Lange Eye Institute is 352-753-4014. That's 352-753-4014. And once again, we are live coming from the FOA at Orlando, Florida. And if you got a question for us, we can take these questions. We're going to try to. So the question line hotline is 813-282-8283. 813-282-8283. One of the big sponsors of the FOA is Bausch & Lomb. And Bausch & Lomb is one of the innovators and top dogs in the contact lens industry. And I got to talk a little bit about contact lenses. So as eye care practitioners, we want to be able to fit patients in a contact lens that has all-day comfort, all right, all-day moisture, doesn't dry out, consistently clear vision, plenty of oxygen to the eye, and really, the contact lens that comes to mind is made by Bausch & Lomb, and it's called Infuse. And they really had a good lecture, a lunchtime lecture yesterday, I think it was.
They did. We end up having these lectures, lunch and learn, and they will go into the science behind these contacts. And contacts don't happen overnight. It takes years and years of research for them to come up with everything about the contact that keeps your eye healthy, allowing all the oxygen through. Your eye has to receive oxygen from the air. And so the cornea, that's clear, there's no blood to bring it oxygen. So they've got to make sure that oxygen passes through that contact. And they have to make sure it sits on your eye correctly. So they're making sure that it's not going to irritate that front surface of your eye. And it has to fit correctly so that it angles the light into your eye correctly to give you that sharp 20/20, even 20/15 vision that these lenses are constantly producing. So you could have the same exact power in one contact versus the other. Not only is it a comfort that could be different, your vision could actually be different. And so they have really come up with what we call reducing, it's a spherical aberration, a fancy word, but for example, those lights that you might see above us, all that kind of glare that's coming off from it, it's to help reduce that so that you can drive at night better. You can drive in the rain better, and all those things that we know are important just to give you that better quality of vision. And we're constantly looking at new lenses. Bausch Shalom is an organization, they're constantly in research and development to come out with what's better for you guys to just give you an overall better quality of life.
And if you're interested in contact lenses, today's the time to take another look. If you've tried contact lenses years before and you just couldn't wear them for whatever reason, too much astigmatism, eyes are too dry, too high a power, then you may want to talk to your optometrist, your local eye care provider, and see if you can be fit in contacts today. Because even some of the patients with the driest eyes now, with the new Bausch & Lomb infused lens, we're able to fit these patients in contact lenses successfully, all right? So if you have astigmatism, if you have dry eyes, if you need a bifocal or progressive lens, Bausch & Lomb Infuse has the new multifocal, toric lenses, spherical lenses, and they're one-day disposables. Also, the great thing about the new Bausch & Lomb Infuse lens, it's the only contact lens that has electrolytes in it. Why did they put electrolytes in this contact lens, Dr. Summerton?
Right, and that's infused because it infuses those electrolytes into your eye. And again, we're talking about tears and comfort and dryness, and it gets those to balance your tear film. We've got to keep that tear film as natural as possible. We can't be sucking that tear film up like a sponge, and we've got to protect it from evaporation. All you guys, we're all on our screens, we're not blinking as much. So we've got to get that tear film stable so it's not drying out, and we've got to keep it natural and infuse those electrolytes into the tear film.
So if you want the best contact lens, my personal opinion is ask your local eye doctor, come to the Lange Eye Institute, ask to be fit in the Bausch & Lomb infused one-day disposable lens. And with that, we're going to go to the first caller. We're going to attempt to take a call here from the FOA conference. And I think that's Steve in Clearwater. No newbie to talk radio. Steve, good morning.
Yes, I was wondering, science progresses in different areas at different rates. What percentage of the people in your profession, let's take macular degeneration, what percentage of the people in your profession now have gotten to the point where it's considered standard treatment to use nutritional therapies like the carotenoids and stuff? How many are still out on the range they don't believe in that?
Well, that's a great question. It's exactly 27.6943% of the doctors that do get it. Now, look, I'm just making that number up, okay?
Yes, Mr. Scott.
So I think especially with Dr. Summerton lecturing and this talk show, a lot of doctors listen to us. You know, we spread the word. More and more optometrists, more and more optometric physicians and ophthalmologists are getting on the nutritional bandwagon, so to speak. I have no idea what the numbers are. You know, 10 years ago, it was a lot less. But I can tell you, Tasha has had one of the hottest booths, if not the hottest booth here at the Fortify booth here at the FOA. Doctors from all over the state and all over the country have been coming and doing orders and talking to Tasha and talking to me and talking to Dr. Summerton and Tammy and the whole gang about what they can do to help their patients naturally. What can they do to help their dry eye patient? What they can do to help their macular degeneration patient. Now really vogue is their glaucoma patients, because we do have evidence. These are evidence-based supplements that Fortify Vitamins has developed that has a lot of science behind these supplements. And we have this on thousands of patients, and we see the benefits. This is not a treatment, all right? This is nutritional intervention to help the body work to its fullest potential. So we're not telling patients that we're going to cure your glaucoma with a vitamin or cure your macular degeneration or dry eye with a vitamin, because that's not a fact. But like I always say, God made a pretty good body. And as long as we give that body the right fuel, the body can work to its fullest potential. And you know, you hear us talk about the SAD diet, the standard American diet. So we adjust the diet. The typical patient on this SAD diet is not getting the nutrients necessary for the retina to thrive, for the optic nerve to thrive. So that's why we supplement with specific supplements. And the problem is, Steve, most of the supplements you buy over the counter are filled with dyes and binders and artificial flavoring and artificial sweeteners and non-therapeutic amounts of nutrients. So basically doesn't do a lot of anything. All of the fortified vitamin supplements, like I said, are backed by a lot of good clinical studies. And they work. They really do. We see some amazing things happen to people when they adjust their diet, and adjust their supplements. So I don't know the percentage. What
Well,
about you,
what I
Dr.
never
Summerton?
could understand is most of the people that are taking vitamins are they're interested in health. It seems to me if these lesser quality vitamins, they're sticking all this stuff, this garbage in there, and they have to list it, like would actually lower their sales because people would see that and not want to buy it. It seems, if I was making a vitamin, I would say to myself, I don't want to put any dyes in here. People won't buy it if it has dyes. I don't want to put any this in there or artificial sweeteners, because if I do, people won't want to buy it. So why do they keep putting it in?
Well, it's inexpensive. It's a way they can make the almighty profit. It's very inexpensive to make a vitamin, a good quality vitamin. We source it from the best places. An example, our protein comes from New Zealand. Our omega-3 comes from Norway. Not to knock China, but I will. None of our stuff comes from China. All right. If it does, it's much less expensive. And people in the nutritional industry do try to cut corners. All right. Because they got to make that 6, 7, 8 time markup. I mean, most of our supplements don't even have a 2-time markup. So that's how we're able to bring a therapeutic dosage to somebody for a price that's affordable. Okay. Most companies aren't going to do that. Remember, Fortify Vitamins, we're not a huge company. We're a family-owned, family-run company. We don't have that many employees. Some of these vitamin companies have hundreds of employees, so their overhead is very high. But another thing is education. Most people do not know that sucralose and asulfide potassium and red dye and maltodextrin, most people don't know these things are bad for them because the lion's share of the country don't listen to Ask the Doctor. So it's all about education. And I think with a new government that's in, maybe we're going to be educating the public more about health and about eating properly. What do you think, Dr. Summerton?
I think so too. And part of it, one lecture I was in was interesting and highlighted. It was actually a dry eye lecture, but they were discussing how it is overwhelming when you go to the store and you're looking for even a dry eye drop, an artificial tear. And the same when you go and you look for vitamins, you're not sure what to buy. And they were basically putting it on us. It's our job to do the research out there for our patients and then carry in our office or make that exact recommendation of the product so that we've gone through and we've made sure that it's good ingredients. In my lecture, I highlighted just a simple thing for you to look at on vitamins. If it has vitamin E, there's synthetic vitamin E and there's natural vitamin E. So if you look at the label and it says DL, ketoferol, when it has the L versus no L, there is a huge difference in that product. And it's listed on the back and it's very, very tiny print. And so most consumers are not going to know. We don't want to put synthetic vitamin E into our bodies, especially men, that they're more prone to prostate cancer because synthetic vitamins act like a drug and you're going to get side effects. So we want to make sure that when our patients come in, they don't know a lot about nutrition, they're interested in nutrition, they're at all different levels. Some people know hardly anything, other people, they've seen stuff on the internet, but it's our job to tone it in and make sure we're getting the right quality vitamins at the right dosage to have that therapeutic effect that's going to actually make a difference.
Well, Dr. Summerton, you're training all these other people as to what's doing it. The word doctor does not mean healer. It means teacher. And that's what you're doing. So from now on, you're going to be known as Dr. Summerton, not Dr. Summerton, Dr. Summerton.
Well, I used to be a professor of nutrition, so I like this teaching thing. Yeah.
Well,
that'd be a good intro for our song, for our talk show, Dr. Doctor. That is just
Doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you.
There you go.
In the background.
We're getting loaded up for some more calls here, Steve. We're going to have to run.
God bless. And have a great day today. Have fun.
Take care, Steve. All right, you're listening to Ask the Doctors this morning. Dr. Michael Lange and Dr. Susan Summerton. We're broadcasting from the FOA here in Orlando, Florida, and we're having a great time. We're at the Fortify Vitamin booth. If you want to learn more about Fortify Vitamins, you can go to fortify.com. That's FORTIFEYE, fortify.com. You can see all the research we've done. You can actually purchase those. There's always volume discounts, so go to fortify.com. And the phone number for Fortify Vitamins is 866-503-9746. That's 866-503-9746. All right, let's go back to the phones. I think Mary or Misty in Tampa has been waiting patiently. Morning, Misty.
Good morning. How are you?
All right, and yourself?
I'm pretty good.
So what can we do for you?
So I have hypoparathyroidism, and I am on a calcium supplement called calcitriol. Now I know, like with medications, a lot of times you're supposed to take them with food, because I do know that the food is kind of the carrier for the supplement to get into your system. My particular supplement, calcitriol, says to take with an empty stomach. What do you think about that?
I would say if they say take it on an empty stomach, I would go by the directions. Do you happen to know what's actually in it, what form of calcium, and what other nutrients are in it?
I'll have to look at it. It is something that's prescribed from the doctor due to the hypoparathyroidism being so bad that I've been hospitalized twice with critical calcium. So let me look at this real quick. Let's see here. It just says calcitriol, calcium tablet. I mean calcium. That's all it says on it. So I'm not sure on that for sure. But like I said, I just thought that do I need to take it with a glass of milk? Would that help?
If it says on an empty stomach, I would take it on an empty stomach. I really would. I would follow the doctor's advice and the directions on that. I mean, for people that are listening, however, when you do take calcium, we don't want calcium to actually be circulating through the body and then potentially clogging the arteries, increasing your risk of macular degeneration, carotid artery stenosis, aortic stenosis. So usually when we take in certain forms of calcium, now then again, not for your thyroid, but if we're trying to treat osteopenia, osteoporosis, we want things along with it like vitamin K2, vitamin D, magnesium, phosphorus, boron, something like strontium or iproflavone to make it absorb better. I don't like patients going out and just willy-nilly buying calcium carbonate or something like that, 1,000 milligrams, and taking it for their bones, because indirectly it could do more harm than good. But I'm not an expert in that particular one. Dr. Summerton may know more than me about it, but I would definitely follow the advice that's written and what the doctor says. So what do you say, Dr. Summerton?
Yeah, I'm not, if it says on the actual label, what's confusing me is normally calcium is taken with food, but it might be one of the biophosphonates that being the prescription medicine, that those are on the empty stomach. And it's just about changing the absorption of it. And also there's certain things like you can't take with, especially like antacids, because you need the acidity for the absorption. So they would have looked at it to see at what acid content, acid level it is to give you that absorption.
Right.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, because I know, like, one of the things I had to take along with this to keep the calcium up was Tums, but then apparently the calcium got too high, so they were like, no, we got to pull you back down. So I stopped taking the Tums, but I didn't know. So that the acid level hurts the body's ability sometimes to absorb things.
Right, exactly. Yes, you got it.
Okay,
Yep,
well,
so
that makes a lot of sense.
keep doing it on an empty stomach.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much.
All right, Misty.
Thank you for calling.
All right, you're listening to Ask the Doctors, Dr. Michael Lange and Dr. Susan Summerton. I've been hosting Ask the Doctor since April of 1993. Time flies when you're having fun. Once again, phone lines are open, and the number is 813-282-8283. That's 813-282-8283. We're broadcasting from the Lowe's. What's the name of this hotel?
Sapphire Falls in Universal Studios.
There we go. Sapphire Falls, Lowe's Sapphire Falls at Universal Studios, Orlando, Florida, the FOA. Give us a call one more time, 813-282-8283. Remember, you can always go to Fortify Nutrition Center in Clearwater, Florida, where we have all the Fortify vitamins and a lot of other vitamins. Plus, we have the Wata water, and that is right there on McMullen Booth Road and the Bayside Bridge Plaza right next to Publix. It's Fortify Nutrition Center in Clearwater. And we have the Lange Nutrition Center in Ocala, Florida, right across the street from the Paddock Mall, in a 2-story building upstairs, first door on the right, Lange Nutrition Center. All right, let's go back to the phones. I think it's Patsy in St. Pete. Patsy, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
What can we do for you?
I don't laugh, but I have a constipation problem, and I've had one for a couple years. It seems like it might have started after my gallbladder left my body, but it's been getting worse these last couple of months. And I take Super Green multivitamins, and my doctor yesterday said you should take some magnesium citrate, and I was eating citrate, but I got magnesium, and I got the multi-magnesium that has a whole bunch of them in it, but I just got that yesterday. I take Benefiber every day, like 2 tablespoons at least in the morning, if not at night as well.
Right.
It's still not, sometimes I strain so much, it's just awful.
Right. Yeah, constipation can be miserable. So I would tell you, make sure you're drinking plenty of fluids, okay? You got to drink enough water. Most of us are dehydrated. I would eat plenty of organically grown fruits and vegetables. That's the best form of fiber you're going to get, all right? And especially since you don't have a gallbladder anymore, I would start taking enzymes 5 minutes before each meal. And so you can get enzymes over the counter. We make one called Fortify Enzymes at fortify.com. And you take 5 minutes before you eat. She's holding it up right now, the Fortify Enzymes. And this also has some probiotics in it as well. And we really thought it through when we developed it. And remember, it's going to help you break down and metabolize the fats, the carbohydrates, and the proteins so they don't kind of become putrid and just start clogging your intestinal, flora. So plenty of fluids, plenty of fruits and vegetables. I would also take the enzymes, maybe cut back on that fiber that you're taking and try to get it from a natural sources first, all right? And certainly magnesium, if you overdo magnesium, it does loosen your stools for sure. And then obviously, following your doctor's advice. Dr. Summerton, what do you want to add to this?
It's true. And when you are taking that fiber by itself, because the natural fruits and vegetables have water content, you need to make sure you're drinking enough water with that fiber. But, everybody knows the prunes help. Kiwis are actually high in fiber. That would be a good food, even to add a daily kiwi. Kiwi has lots of benefits. There was even a study that showed eating kiwi every day helps you sleep better as well. Aloe vera juice is another one. If you see that in the store, drinking some aloe every day. And why he was talking about the magnesium citrate in particular is because that does have a laxative effect, and it's that particular form ending in citrate. Other magnesiums, so you got to look at the label, like malate, threonate, glycinate. They are not going to have that effect. We actually use those to help with brain, to cross the blood-brain barrier. And so the citrate does it a natural effect there.
And let me ask you this, Patsy, have you by any chance started taking anything different, any powdered supplements like collagen supplements or even whey protein supplements? Have you been doing any powdered supplements lately?
No.
Okay, good. I would stay away from those. I would tend to stay away from those for the time period, because sometimes that can also, cause constipation in certain individuals. So try what we did and then let us know and give it a couple of weeks and let us know how you do. Also, being active, exercising, doing some believe it or not, ab workouts, lay down and do a few sit-ups, believe it or not. That helps move everything through the gut and the intestines as well.
Right. Let me ask you this. I didn't mention it. Because I go to Great American, this vitamin store that's,
Right.
excuse me, pretty natural. And I got some old Amish Farm Lab colon cleanser. I only tried it once, but I didn't read the instructions. So I mixed it up, went to the nail place, started drinking it. And I'm like, what is in my water? And it was coagulating already. But it says in the description, drink it right away. So I haven't tried it again, but is bulking fiber herbal supplement Formlex.
Yeah, I've heard of colon cleanse, and I don't have anything negative to say about it, but you have to see how your body reacts to it. Okay, it should help with movement, but if it doesn't, sometimes it might do just the opposite. So see how you react to it. But remember, drink more fluids, take the enzymes, eat more organic fruits and vegetables.
Okay, and then stop the
Yeah, I probably would. If it hasn't helped, I would probably stop it for now and try eating more of the organic fruits and vegetables and getting your fiber from there and drinking a lot more water.
Okay.
And then obviously talk to your physician if you're still having problems, because there's other medical problems that can cause this. So we want to make sure that, there's not something more serious causing this. So consult with your physician.
Okay.
All right, Patsy.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. All right. You're listening to Ask the Doctors. I'm Dr. Michael Lange, here with my co-host, Dr. Susan Summerton. And we're broadcasting from the FOA and conference here in Orlando. If you got a question regarding your vision, eye care, or a nutritionally related topic, give us a call, 813-282-8283. That is 813-282-8283. Remember, you can check everything out that we've developed at Fortify Vitamins at fortify.com. That's FORTIFEYE. Especially if you don't have a gallbladder, the enzymes really can potentially help. And the Fortify enzymes I take, especially before high protein meals. Everybody that's out there that's an athlete over 50 years of age, take this before your protein drink. Take it before you eat that big steak or the chicken, before you sit down and have a pasta meal. And you don't have to be an athlete, but this will help protein absorb much more efficiently. And remember, you got to pound the protein. Most of us out there that are listening to this program are not getting enough protein. And all sorts of studies say it's best to take protein at this time and take this amount of protein and this amount of protein after you work out. And we can get into the exact science of it. But the main thing is to try to get at least 70% of your body weight in grams of protein at a minimum. If you want to thrive, 1 gram for body weight. So if you weigh 200 pounds and you're in good shape, you need to get 200 grams of protein a day. Now, if you're 400 pounds and you should only be 200 pounds, don't eat 400 grams of protein, okay? Eat the amount for your ideal body weight. And so it's very difficult for people to get the right amount of protein. It really is. So Fortify has developed Fortify Super Protein, and we're going to hold that up. Fortify Super Protein is a grass-fed, New Zealand grass-fed whey protein concentrate with 20 grams of protein. Organic stevia is the sweetener in it, nothing artificial. And it is amazing to help build muscle. You can use this as a meal replacement. So it's called Fortify Super Protein. And then we have Fortify Whey Protein Isolate. This is grass-fed from American cows, 21 grams of protein. And it's an isolate, so it has removed the fat, and it has no flavor. This one is unflavored, so it's great for mixing, say, a banana and a pineapple or berries together. But remember, Dr. Summerton, we never mix bananas and berries, do we?
Right. Any of those fruits that have the skin that turns brown, like a banana, a pear, and an apple, we don't want to mix with those berries if you're not going to be hurt from it, but if you want the optimal benefit, because we know you pay a lot for food these days. And so those actually block the absorption of those active ingredients that actually help in the antioxidants. So we want you to eat all of them, but we just don't want you to eat them at the same time so you get that maximum benefit, because we want to save you money and improve your health.
And she's holding up a bag of our vegan super protein. We're getting ready to take some calls in a second, so hold on. But the vegan super protein is the first vegan protein. It comes from all North American vegan protein, all non-GMO. We use barley protein combined with pea protein. It gives us a complete protein. Then we add something called velocitol. Velocitol is amylopectin and chromium. It doubles the power of the amino acid. So our vegan super protein comes in chocolate, vanilla, and salted caramel mocha. Delicious. And it has the same amino acid profile as whey protein. So now all you vegans out there can have a vegan super protein made by Fortify Vitamins. Also, a lot of world-class athletes are using this at bedtime now. And anybody can use this bedtime because it's long-acting and slow-acting. Remember, whey protein is fast-acting. Whey protein right after you work out is the best. But at bedtime, you probably want to take the vegan super protein, 1 to 2 scoops. All right, we're going to go to the phones. Let's see. The next caller, I think, is Barbara in Ocala. Barbara, thanks for holding, and good morning.
Good morning.
Fantastic. And
How
yourself?
Are you? Good. Hey, a few weeks ago, you prescribed Oxervate for me.
Right. Yes, it's an act of
Remember?
Congress to get that prescribed.
Hey, those people are so kind and nice, it's crazy. I mean, the people I deal with Oxervate, they're really nice. Anyway, I'm on starting my second week. In the mornings when I wake up, my eyes kind of hurt. More sensitive to sunlight. I've called their pharmacist and they say it's normal. My question to you is, should I come in and have you look at my eyes, or I have an appointment in 8 weeks or so, which hopefully I'll be finished with the medication by then.
I would say that if you have any doubts at all, then it's best to err on the side of caution. You certainly come in and see me. If you just want me to take a look at your eyes, that's fine. But it does take a while for this to fully take effect. You're taking it 6 times a day for, I think, 2 months?
8 weeks.
8 weeks. And for people that are listening out there, Oxervate is a drug that has been developed to help people that have corneas that don't have a lot of nerve endings, people that have epithelium that's not healing, all right, super dry eye, whether it's related to age or a disease entity or any type of virus that you may have had. And it helps to really regenerate the nerve endings and helps the sensation come back. And therefore, when the nerve endings are regenerated, it helps your cornea heal. And folks don't realize that this drug, how expensive is this drug, Dr. Summerton?
Oh, it's in the hundreds, thousands. This is a unique drug of regenerating nerves. So that's something to think about. When your nerves do regenerate, you're going to feel more things. So you're going to notice more sensations as that medicine takes effect. But it's unique. It was developed by this amazing research company, an Italian company, a small company, because we didn't have a way to grow nerves back. And the fact that they can actually regenerate the nerve growth in that front surface of your eye, your cornea, that does give you that sensation. So you may start feeling more, which is a sign it's actually working. But at the same time, we don't want you to be in pain and uncomfortable. And you can still use your like your Optase preservative-free moisture drops at the same time you're on this medicine. You just can't use it at the same time. You need to give it at least 30 minutes before you put it, because you don't want it to dilute that very expensive medicine.
And when Dr. Summerton said hundreds of thousands of dollars, it wasn't like hundreds or thousands of dollars. It's literally $100,000 to $200,000 for this. So you either have to be super wealthy, or they've set up you set up a philanthropic organization. So Barbara, I want to ask you, how much did you end up having to pay for this? There you go.
Nothing.
Wow. That's a good deal, and so
I mean, those organizations you told me about, I went with the first one, and they were just it's crazy nice. They're crazy nice people. I mean, I haven't dealt with anyone who was not just so helpful and kind. And my first application, it takes a while. It takes a while to get a rhythm. At my age, maybe 30 years ago, I should have got, but get the rhythm. And I messed up my first dosage. And yeah, I was, going, Lord, how much money is
Well,
this?
Barbara, I am
But,
really
anyway,
excited for you, Barbara. I'm really excited for you because this is new generation technology. Most doctors don't even know it exists. And I'm hoping for a miracle. I really am. I'm hoping for your eyes to heal up and feel much better, and life will be good. I've known you a long time, and I only want the best for you.
This should be a miracle. I mean, and it's really strange. The week before I started, I spent a week with a former sister-in-law who was turning 90, and 2 years ago she lost her sight, so she's completely blind. So it was quite an experience.
I'm not going to let that happen to you.
So much for that.
All right, Barbara. Thanks for the call. Bye-bye. All right. Remember, if you'd like to learn more about Fortify vitamins, go to fortify.com. FORTIFEYE. We're getting loaded up. Let's go to Paul in the Villages. Paul, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Lange. Good morning, Dr. Summerton. Dr. Lange, I'm taking your Curcumin, and I recently read an article that said that you should limit it to between 1 and 3 milligrams per kilogram of weight. And I noticed that your one capsule is like 500 milligrams. And my calculation for my weight would be about 180 milligrams. Is there a limit? Is there, what do you think about
on
that?
the capsule, I'm wondering exactly the active component of the curcumin isn't 500 milligrams. I think it's closer to about 259 milligrams, somewhere around there. I'd have to look at the back of it. But the question is, all right, so number one, we have to determine the size of the person, okay? So obviously, if you're very small and you only weigh 90 pounds, you take less. If you're 300 pounds, you take more. Also, depends on the systemic health problems that you have. If a patient has cognitive decline, macular degeneration, arthritis, swelling and inflammation in the body, then you can certainly take more than that. I mean, 500 milligrams of a good form of curcumin is not too much. It really isn't. Now, you got to remember, like most vitamins, most curcumins on the market are not very bioavailable. They don't absorb well. They put black pepper extract in it to increase the actual absorption, and that can do some harm to the intestinal lining. So the curcumin that we use is called curcugen, and curcugen has been studied at 5 to 10 times higher levels than what we're using without any negative side effects. Now, once again, we also have to look at the patient's systemic health and determine the medications they're on. So if you're on a blood thinner, multiple blood thinners, and you're bruising very easy, then sometimes we want to cut back a little bit if you're starting to bruise more frequently, because curcumin can have some mild blood thinning properties. Omega-3 can, black currant seed oil can, ginger and garlic can, ginkgo biloba, vitamin E. So a lot of things have blood thinning properties. How much do you weigh, Paul? Yeah, 150.
150.
Yeah, you're probably going to be fine. Have you had any negative side effects?
No. I've been taking it for quite a while, and I just saw this article, and it kind of stirred this question. But I have rheumatoid arthritis, and I take it for the anti-inflammatory properties.
So, and if this can help eliminate the need to get on things like prednisone and methotrexate and naproxen and nonsteroidals, this has far less side effects than some of those potential medications do. But sometimes those medications are a godsend and really do help you. You can't treat everything, naturally. But I would say you're probably going to be fine. If you want to send me that study and then I can comment on it a lot more thoroughly because there's a lot of studies out there on curcumin. Remember, curcumin is one of the safest natural anti-inflammatories on the market, literally thousands of studies proving this. So I want to look at that study. If you could shoot it to me, email it to me, or text it to me. Do you have my email address?
Yes, I do. I'll try to
Yeah,
find it
shoot
again.
that email, and then I'll comment on it.
And
I'll look at that study. I'll turn it upside down, and I'll tell you what I think.
all right. Thank you very much,
Okay, Paul.
Doctor. I'll
Take
see
care.
you soon.
All right. You're listening to
Bye-bye.
Ask the Doctors. Dr. Michael Lange and Dr. Susan Summerton broadcasting live from the FOA here in Orlando, Florida. If you got a question, we still have time for some more questions. We're getting ready to take a call, but give us a call at 813-282-8283. That's 813-282-8283. And you can check out that supplement we were talking about. It's called Next Gen Curcumin, fueled by Curcugen at fortify.com. All right, let's go back to the phones. Let's go to David in Clearwater. David, thanks for holding. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Dr. Lange. Dr.
Good morning.
Sumter. How you doing?
What can
Great, thank you. I have a question, and something really cool, about it's been 45 days now, but I started, I thought I had about 20 extra pounds on me that, I eat a very low carb diet, but I do indulge in in wine, a lot of in sugars, So I went on the human chorionic gonadotropin (HCG) quote diet, where you basically have a highly, and you're pretty aware of it, right? But for the listeners, really quickly, you have a very low caloric diet for approximately 30 days. And then you inject this hormone in your belly every day to help curb. It helps to allegedly drive your weight loss in fat versus muscle. And then you go off it, and then you recalibrate your diet. So I just wanted to report, doctor. I feel so good. My body feels so good. I've lost 22 pounds in 45 days. And one of the things that I noticed, I wanted to end with this one before you can comment, is I have moderate arthritis in the hip, my right hip, and I can't, and generally I can't do activities of normal life, right? Like cutting the lawn,
right,
stuff like that, without stopping and resting. But about 2 weeks into it, I was cutting the lawn, and then I was kind of ripping through it, and then I said, "Wow, I have no hip pain, or very low levels, and I can't associate it with weight loss per se because I only lost about 5 or 6 pounds at that venture." So it's very interesting, doctor. I think there was something about the foods that I was eating and the combination synergy of the weight loss that has made my body less inflamed. And I feel so awesome. I just wanted to share that with you. And I'm not advocating this for everyone. It's rather extreme diet, quote unquote. But it is really cool to lose weight. If anybody can go on a weight loss regimen, you could be, and then cut the kinds of foods you eat. You can really maybe feel amazing and get rid of chronic pain.
You're absolutely correct. And I always tell people the number one thing you can do for health, the number one thing you can do for overall health, even ocular health, is getting down to your ideal body weight. Now, even when you lost only that 6 pounds, that's equivalent to 24 pounds on your joints, on your hips, 24 pounds that you've been carrying around. So that's helping with arthritis, and that's even more down to your ankle. All right. So, and now you've lost even more weight. So not only has this diet taken the weight off, which is helping with your arthritic symptoms and your pain, but it's lowering inflammatory markers. All inflammatory markers on your body are going down. And how much do you weigh now?
I weigh 165 pounds. So I was 187 when I started. Isn't that interesting? So I wasn't super fat, but I'm in a really nice, I'm 5'10". I believe my BMI is like 163 or something. So I'm really excited about, getting rid of a little bit more weight, not getting too skinny. But I swim daily, at least 4 times a week, and I'm trying to work out, with tension bands and things, so I don't lose muscle. So I'm being a little, I'm being a little overachiever, doctor.
David,
but
David,
I want to.
I'm going to have to cut you off because we're going to have to get off the show here. But I want you to keep it up and keep us posted. Make sure you're eating enough protein so you don't lose muscle. And when you get down to the ideal body weight, you can get off the injectable medication, because the least amount of medication, the best. Okay. All right.
Thanks
Thanks for the call. And
Bye-bye.
congratulations. All right. So we've got about one.
We've got less than a minute here, Dr. Lang.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to Ask the Doctors. And Dr. Summerton is going to give her spiel and tell everybody goodbye.
Yes, thank you for calling. We're out here doing our best, learning more for you, to bring it back, to encourage you to keep that healthy lifestyle. We know the healthier you are, the happier you are. So go do something that makes you happy today.
And we did not have time to talk about the we do, the IPL, Intense Pulse Light Therapy, folks. We're going to do a whole show on this, the Luminous OptiLight Intense Pulse Light Therapy. We're doing it at the Lange Eye Institute. If you have chronic dry eyes and nothing has helped, come see us at the Lange Eye Institute and ask about IPL treatment. With that, we only have 10 seconds. So once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to Ask the Doctor. Go out and have a great day. Happy Saturday. God bless you and God bless America.
Thanks for listening.
Good show. Thanks, Tasha.
Welcome.
You did good. And tell everybody goodbye.
Bye. Have the most amazing day on purpose. Mwah!